What's up, guys? I hope you are all having an amazing day today. Today I am I have a lot going on. So tomorrow I'm going to be heading out for Vancouver, and then after I go to Vancouver, I'm going to be flying to Japan. So pretty exciting stuff ahead. But today I wanted to talk about why I think it's the perfect time to start your business. If you've been considering this for a while, I realized that on my channel I didn't upload my first video to this specific channel. I uploaded it under a different alias, so I'm gonna have to port that over at some point. Um, but for those of you guys who don't know, I used to work at a big tech company. I used to work as a software engineer, and I recently quit to become a full-time game developer, and I'm trying to grow my game studio right now. Currently I'm profitable, have been for the past month. There have been like a lot of ups and downs, but that's kind of why I started doing this series. But the reason I think that it's the perfect time to start your business is we'll give you like a perfect example. Within my game development business, I was able to get 2 features done that would typically take me about 2 weeks in about 2 days. So I think it helps that I have like the background in programming and in computer science. I think that like accelerated me a lot as far as like understanding. I don't need to understand everything that Claude or ChatGPT or whatever LLM I'm using to get the code is giving me. I can kind of just see at a high level, like, does this work, does it not work? And then I can reprompt it if it doesn't work. And I can sort of specify like what it's doing wrong. So I think it helps to be able to guide it in some aspects. But I think for some of you guys who are starting less technical businesses, especially if you're doing like e-commerce or just anything more generic, like if you need help doing basically like marketing campaigns, either for like a gym or like cafe or anything, I think you can still leverage ChatGPT to give you at least like detailed plans of what you can do. And I think the reality of it is this stuff is just going to keep getting better and better. And as we're going to see, like a lot of these agents or a lot of these LLMs are going to move into the agent space. They've been talking about that for the past year. But typically what we've seen is like when ChatGPT got released for the first time, for example, at least the major one that was actually decent, I think, was ChatGPT 3. It took a few years for people to actually start using it to basically cheat on like their homework. That's kind of what everyone was using it for. And then once it got good enough, pretty much everybody started to use it to cheat, and it basically saved people a lot of time because they didn't have to do homework anymore. So one of the reasons that I think that the agent horizon is probably getting pretty close is because I think the timeline for ChatGPT to be able to be like fully fleshed out and developed was about 2 years. Because as I'm seeing currently, Claude, for example, is amazing at writing code. It writes it with almost no errors now. And like I said, sometimes I do have to still guide it, but at the end of the day, it still writes pretty perfect code. And honestly, it's probably just going to keep getting better from here. So I can kind of see that being relayed in the agent space. So I think like if you guys have different like tasks that you're trying to do, whether it's like automating emails or like doing like outreach or anything like in that space, people are going to be building these layers on top of the agents that already exist and make it even easier to use, and the underlying agents themselves will get better. But yeah, I think a lot of these things are kind of having us analyze like our current situation in the world. I think for me, my perspective has changed in that I think coding is probably a lot more useless of a skill now than it was even like 3 years ago. And I can kind of understand why these layoffs are happening. It's because like I as an individual can come in and do something literally like at 10x the pace. And this is like once you remove all of the restrictions of like this, like the corporate hierarchy, so I don't need approval for anything. I can kind of just rapidly like test and fail things, and I can even do it in prod. But that's like the difference of being on your own versus working for a company. Working for a company, you can never do anything in prod, and that's just like stuff that's already been released. Mine's a lot less serious. Like if something breaks in prod in a game, it doesn't really like affect people that much. It's just their game experience might be a little bit worse. Some industries you definitely don't ever want to do that, like medical industry, transportation industry. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to get on here and give you guys my insights into the way I see the world moving, and I do think that we just need to reanalyze our positions. And yeah, I think right now is the perfect time to like start your business and get it off the ground. So anyway, peace. Thanks for watching, guys.